So Andy, one thing I've always wanted to ask you is how did you get into politics? And in light of the year that you've had, do you regret it?
Sometimes, I'll be honest, I do sometimes. But on the whole, not. Because in the end, politics allows you to make changes that benefit people. So it's a tough profession. I won't lie. How did I get into it? It was growing up here in the Northwest in the 1980s.
Yeah.
And I could just see, obviously, everything that was going on. My mum and dad weren't in politics. I think sometimes people think politicians have got all of these connections and families that are always in politics. But mine wasn't. It was simply that I kind of was looking around at what was going on and kind of felt quite angry about it. The thing that probably radicalised me most was Hillsborough, actually.
Right.
Because I'm an Everton supporter. I have to admit that.
We all know.
You've noticed. And I had lots of friends who were there. Yeah. And I just, for those who don't remember it, just the outrageous injustice of people going to a match, not coming back, but then the powers that be turning on people and blaming them. Yeah. I just think it's kind of brought home that this is the way the North has always been treated. That you can basically treat people as second-class citizens. And it was that really that probably kind of took me from being just kind of politically aware to being quite angry, and I want to change this because this cannot possibly be right. So that I was 19 when Hillsborough happened. Wow. And that was I would say I'd seen the 80s from close quarters. Moss Side, Toxteth, the miners' strike I saw because I was growing up in Leigh and I was at school with lots of people whose dads were on strike.
Oh, it was a mining town, wasn't it, Leigh?
Yeah, Leigh. I live in a little place called Goulburn that had a pit, and when I went to school in Newton Willows, my school bus went past Parkside Colliery every day. So I know it feels like a different era now to people, but it was a very big deal at the time, the miners' strike in that part of it's just the fringes of Greater Manchester, and that was all building inside me. But then at the end of the 80s, Hillsborough happened, and it was like, right, we're just getting treated as I say, second-class citizens here.
Why is it that the North is treated different to the South?
I think it's got deep roots, isn't it? The power of this country is all concentrated in London and the South East. It's always been like that. And actually, if you look at the way our political system works, we're a very centralised political system. Yeah. So all of the power is in Westminster, and therefore all of the powerful people are around that area. And it's all concentrated inside the M25. And the North has always been taken for granted, hasn't it? Over decades, centuries even. And it's generally not where the people come from who are the ones who are the most wealthy and the most powerful. Yeah. And if I believe in anything, if I came into politics for anything, it was to speak up for the North, basically. And that's what I've always, in my different ways, tried to do.